How many of you remember your first love? I remember mine as if it was yesterday. She was beautiful. She had curves in all the right places. She lit up whenever I was around and made me feel like $1,000,000. She was gorgeous. She had a few more miles on her than I would have liked, but hey, they say love is blind, right? Her name was Lola. Let me tell you about her. Lola was a 1986 1.6-litre fuel-injected Ford Orion. Gunmetal grey with just a fleck of silver in the paint that caught the sunlight just right. I remember I was home from university on holiday, and Lola and I decided to take a drive. And as we meandered through the English countryside, she handled like a dream. But then as we approached my hometown of Bristol, she started to hesitate. And Lola was not one to hesitate. Immediately I knew something was wrong. I pulled off to the side of the road just as her engine died. Now I had no idea what was wrong, but I did know I would have to call the local Ford dealership, which as it happens was owned by my family. And as I set off to find a payphone, I thought, I know, I'll phone my father's secretary, Jean. She'll know what to do. Hello, can I speak to Jean Guest, please? Yes, it's Richard Bryan. Yep, Bryan. Yes, same as the name above the door, yep. Thank you. Jean, it's Richard. Is Dad there? No, don't interrupt him. No, I've broken down. Cumberland Road. No, I've no idea what's wrong. Oh, that'd be brilliant. If you could get a couple of guys to come out. Okay, thanks. And Jean, don't tell Dad. Thanks, bye. As I sat there waiting for the tow truck, all I could think was, brilliant. Now they're really going to think I'm the idiot son. Son of the owner, the largest Ford dealership in the city. And I can't even figure out how to start my own car. Just as I was thinking that, the tow truck turned up with two guys on board. Our most experienced mechanic, Nigel, and his young apprentice, Charlie. Oh, Nigel, thank you so much for coming out. I don't know what's wrong with her. She just won't start. I've tried turning her over, but nothing, completely dead. I think it might be something to do with the fuel injection system. All right, mate, no worries. Give us the keys. Let's have a look. Nigel jumped into the driver's seat and started carrying out some tests. A couple of minutes later, he jumped back out. Well, it's definitely a fuel problem, mate. You ain't got any. At this point, Charlie jumped out of the truck, laughing hysterically, grabbed a small empty gas can and went, all right, Governor, as I'm here, do you want me to do the honours and fill her up? Oh, that'd be great, thanks, Charlie. And I watched absolutely mortified as he walked the 20 feet to the gas station I happened to be parked next to. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, Nigel said, Charlie, show some respect to Mr. Bryan. This Einstein here is going to be our boss in a few years. And 10 years later, when I was his boss, every time I walked through the workshop and saw Nigel, he'd just look at me and go, and I'd look back at him and go, as if it was just our little secret. But I knew full well he'd told every mechanic on the shop floor, and any bloke in the pub who would care to listen. I can see him now in the Rose and Crown. All right, boys, time for our toast. We raise our beers and give 3 cheers. And we do it all in fun. To Mr. Richard Bryan, his lordship, our boss, the idiot son